Next on Worcester News tonight, a disturbing case of animal cruelty. Police say a dog was found buried alive Sunday. A Northbridge man is being charged. Plus, suicide is one of the 10 leading causes of death in the country. Worcester organizations want people who may be struggling to know help is available. Good evening, I'm Brittany Schaefer. Police say a man is being charged with animal cruelty after burying a dog alive. Northbridge police received a call Sunday afternoon from a woman who reported she found the dog. Police arrested its owner, 24-year-old Richard Picard. Our Rosalind Flaherty spoke with police and the woman who found the dog and has more. Rosalind?
Brittany, it's a very disturbing story. The woman says she noticed fur under a rock, and when she picked up the rock, she found the dog buried.
This is the hole where Kaylee Belanger says she found a dog buried alive. She took this video in Northbridge Sunday.
My fiance screamed, "He's alive, he's breathing."
Belanger rushed the 18-year-old Shih Tzu named Chico to Tufts Veterinary Hospital where he had to be put down.
His face was filled with dirt, his nostrils, his mouth, everything was just covered and full of dirt.
Belanger says she went looking for the dog after she grew suspicious of Chico's current owner, Richard Picard. Belanger says the 24-year-old told her he needed to get rid of Chico because his new cat didn't get along with the dog. The next morning, he told her Chico died and he buried him in these woods behind his home.
My gut told me not to wait, just to go.
She went to police who arrested Picard and charged him with animal cruelty, a felony where he could face up to 7 years in prison if convicted.
In 41 years of law enforcement, I've never seen anything like this.
Belanger says she's known Picard for many years and doesn't know why he would do something so terrible.
You would never think that anybody would be capable of doing something like that.
Now, Belanger took a lot of video of the incident. We decided to only show some of it due to the graphic nature. Picard was released on $1,000 bail and will be back in court tomorrow. Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
After 19 months off the job in recovery, Auburn police officer Luis Santos returned to work on Monday. The patrolman was struck by an SUV driven by a man convicted and sentenced in a string of home invasions. Santos says he is lucky to be alive after undergoing multiple surgeries and sustaining injuries to his head, torso, arms, and legs. He says it was a long 19 months of recovery where he was mostly bedridden and couldn't be happier to be back serving his community.
I held it back that I was coming back to work from a lot of people because of purpose to add to the value of what this means to me walking through that door. You know, when there's a time where we didn't think I was going to come back to work, I was going to have to retire because of this incident, there was that fuel that just inspired me, like, no, I got to be here on this day and be doing what I am doing right now.
Santos says his wife and 4 kids dropped him off at work today, just as he dropped them off for their first day of school. Ballot question debates are heating up as the November election approaches. Monday night, Harrington Hospital hosted a forum on Question 1 at the Southbridge Hotel and Conference Center. The hospital supports the No on Question 1 campaign, saying it could force smaller hospitals like theirs to close. CEO Ed Moore says it would increase healthcare costs, lead to longer wait times, and have a high price tag for hospitals. He says Harrington Hospital specifically would see a $6 million impact in the first year alone.
It's a very critical matter, and if it was to pass, it would be devastating for hospitals throughout the state. We have the inability to meet those staffing requirements and be able to recruit the staff that are required to meet them, and therefore put ourselves either into a penalty situation or a situation where we would close access, starting with the emergency room all the way to the inpatient units, and then have more difficulty discharging patients, so you'd have a horrendous backup in the whole process.
The Vote Yes on Question 1 campaign, led by the Massachusetts Nurses Association, also working to educate the public Monday. UMass Memorial Hospital nurse Ellen Smith spoke in Worcester and says she has been trying to get this question on the ballot for 20 years. The nurse of 25 years says it would benefit patient safety.
Pick up on things a lot quicker if they had fewer patients to care for. So when you're caring for more patients, that's when mistakes are made. A nurse would only have, like on a med-surg floor, 1 to 4 patients. instead of 1 to 6 to 1 to 8 patients. So it's for the patients in Massachusetts. That's why it means so much to me. I want my patients in Massachusetts to be safe.
This question will be on the ballot on November 6th. Organizations across the country are recognizing National Suicide Prevention Week. The campaign hopes to engage health professionals with the community to shed light on the signs of suicide as well as its impacts. And for some in central Massachusetts, suicide is a topic that hits home. Our Cam Jandro has the story.
Lucy Wiggin and Jonathan Mobley have both suffered with depression.
I actually attempted suicide. And I ended up being in residential treatment for 10 months after that.
I had a very close friend to me about 7 years ago take his own life.
The two now work at Worcester's Parent Professional Advocacy League, where they teach others about the impacts of suicide from their personal experiences.
I'm able to kind of go in and level with them and say, like, listen, this is really terrible. Like, I know that the way you're feeling is authentic.
This week is National Suicide Prevention Week. The CDC reports more than 45,000 Americans die by suicide every year, making it the 10th most common form of death in the country. It's even more common for people 25 and under.
We have patients in both campus EDs every day looking for help. And it's a very brave thing to be able to, scary thing to come to an ED and express those things.
Justin Lucer is the executive market director for behavioral health at St. Vincent Hospital. He says symptoms of severe depression are noticeable.
Dropping out of like routine activities, people stopping eating, withdrawing more, maybe staying up late or sleeping all throughout the day.
Saturday, the Walk to Fight Suicide will take place at Worcester's Institute Park. The event draws hundreds, and co-chair Jessica Zacara hopes it helps eliminate the stigma around mental illness and suicide.
And it is okay to reach out, and it is okay to ask for help, but it is so difficult when you're in that place to be the one reaching out and asking for help.
Zacara has lost multiple people to suicide. 2018 will be her 6th year working the walk. For her, suicide prevention goes farther than just a week.
It has to be something that every day people are realizing that the people we love and care about are struggling with, and it's okay to talk about.
Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
Auburn residents will get a chance to vote on whether or not to ban plastic shopping bags in stores. Back in February, an Auburn selectman brought the idea to the board, the town holding a public hearing tonight to discuss the pros and cons. The board unanimously voted to put the question on the ballot for May's town election. Chairwoman Doreen Goodrich says in previous meetings, the town has been split in their opinions. She says the ban would greatly affect the town and its businesses.
Every store that's in the Auburn Mall, many of them use a small plastic bags. The supermarkets, stores like CVS, we have a significant littering and illegal dumping issue in the town of Auburn, and that's where we're seeing the plastic bags in the trees and on the sides of the roads. So there's a lot of work to be done, but we're definitely looking at it seriously.
Again, town voters will make the final decision in May. To Decision 2018 now, a recount will determine who wins the Democratic congressional primary in the state's 3rd district. Official results released Sunday show Lori Trahan leading Daniel Coe by just 122 votes. Both campaigns called for a recount on Friday after initial reports had Coe trailing by 52 votes. Trahan and Coe are running to replace Nikki Songus, who is retiring. Spraying for West Nile virus in the city has been postponed until Wednesday due to the forecast. 2 areas of Worcester were originally scheduled to be sprayed Tuesday, but because of the rain, the city will wait. One area is in the vicinity of Grafton and Oak Hills. The other area is on the Auburn line from Melbourne Road on the south to Whipple Street on the north. The city says spraying will begin Wednesday after sunset and go until midnight.